Hey everyone, back tuning into today's video, or this morning's video I should say. It's Monday at GazWeatherViz.com, which means only one thing. Yeah, it's Europe Day every Monday at GazWeatherViz. We have a look at the weather for the coming week across the continent, and today is going to be no exception, so we're going to have a look and see what models are predicting for the next few days. Now before I go on with the videos, I'll mention the advertising. There's green keyword ads on my pages at GazWeatherViz.com. If you roll your cursor over green keywords, they'll display ads, but the key to this is to click through the word, click through the ad, and by doing that you go to the advertiser website, and again if you do that you support GazWeatherViz.com, and thanks very much for doing that. The website that we're getting the charts from, the website we're getting the charts from, is westcentral.de, and you can find it on my links page. So this is the situation for today. The heat is really moving into central and eastern parts of Europe now. It is turning cooler and fresh in the west. We're losing the heat across much of Ireland, the United Kingdom, parts of northern and western France losing the heat as well. So we're pushing that heat off in towards the east under this big ridge of high pressure. But in the west it's more unsettled with low pressure dominating. This shows up quite nicely on the upper air temperatures. It's a much cooler scene now for Ireland and Britain, and extending towards parts of Scandinavia as well. It's still pretty warm across much of France, over the far north and northwest of France has turned a little cooler, but the heat really extending through central Spain, through southern France, steering towards much of Germany, and then on into the east and the southeast Europe, particularly through the Mediterranean. Very, very hot temperatures just there. The convective potential today shows that we've got the risk of some thunderstorms across parts of England, also parts of France, the Low Countries, southern parts of Germany as well, maybe going down in towards the Mediterranean. Have a look and see if that convective potential is being realised through the Mediterranean, and then on in towards the Alpine regions of Italy and through in towards southern parts of Poland as well. The precipitation forecast show, the rainfall forecast shows that we're not really realising that convective potential all that well. So certainly for the British Isles we've got a lot of rain to come there. There could be some thunderstorms mixed in, also into the far north of France, some central parts of France as well, also having thunderstorms. They extend up in towards the Low Countries and the parts of Germany as well, or certainly parts of the Alpine regions of Germany and northern Italy. We do have the risk of some thunderstorms, but really much of Central and Eastern Europe is mainly dry, as is much of the Mediterranean. Certainly through the Balearic Islands we are not realising the convective potential that we were just looking at. Neither are we particularly over Spain either. The temperatures today shows that it's still really hot in the east, particularly focused, I think, around the southeast of Europe, where temperatures are still going to be getting up above 100 Fahrenheit, 38 Celsius through parts of the Adriatic coastal regions going through in towards the Balkans. I think we could see some really hot temperatures there. Generally a very hot scene for many central eastern parts of the continent today, up into the low to mid 30s quite widely, but cooler in the far northwest, and that cooler is gradually edging into western parts of Europe all the time. Moving through to the middle of the week, and we get an area of low pressure developing through central parts of Europe. That's going to really develop the convective potential, I think, through the middle of the week. Have a look at that in a moment. It's still somewhat cooler in the west and the northwest, and the heat is still over there in the east with that ridge of high pressure. Here's the upper air temperature showing the heat extending from the central Mediterranean into central parts of Europe, going through in towards the east of Europe as well. And that's fueling that area of low pressure through Germany and the Low Countries. And then we've got the cooler air on the backside of that low pressure out across Scandinavia and Scotland and Northern Ireland as well. Convective potential through the middle of the week extends through France, into the Low Countries, into much of Germany, and then possibly down into central parts of the Mediterranean. Although, again, the rainfall forecast is not showing much in the way of convection for the central Mediterranean. So once again, I think for Balearic Islands we are not realising that convective potential. Neither are we for Corsica and Sardinia. But look how much rain there is across northern Spain, whole of France, going up in towards the Low Countries and then through into Germany as well. A lot of rain through those areas, and some of that could be very thundery indeed. Torrential rain, that is, possibly giving localised flooding. The heat is really on in the east of Europe again through the middle of the week. Again, we're getting widely up to 38, 39, 40. This is suggesting possibly 42 degrees there for parts of the Balkans. That's getting on for around 105 Fahrenheit. Really intense heat through many eastern parts of Europe through the middle of the week. Conversely, through central and western Europe, it is a cooler scene, although much of Germany is still hot. But of course, we've got the heavy rain and thunderstorms breaking out, just lowering those temperatures down through the middle of the week. But certainly cooler through Britain, Ireland, and France, and going down into northern Spain as well. Now, at the end of the week, we're taking that thundery low pressure up into Scandinavia. We've still got the ridge of high pressure now being forced back with hot air towards the west of Russia, although the Azores high is beginning to build back in off the Atlantic once again. But we see that the heat is being pushed further east as we go through to the end of the week. So that's really the story of the week, the heat getting pushed further and further away to the east as we go through the week, so that by the end of the week, the heat is really confined to the east and the southeast, turning much cooler in central areas, and that cool air, of course, is extending in off the Atlantic. Although signs that the heat could be starting to rebuild again, actually, through Spain and Portugal by the end of the week. The convective potential is moving further east with the heat. We lose the convective potential for those central parts of Europe. The thunderstorm risk is through Italy, in towards the Balkans, and going on in towards the east of Europe. Also up over Scandinavia, there could be some heavy rain or thunderstorms for Norway, Sweden, and Finland as well. Conversely, in the west, it's drying out through western Germany, getting down in towards France, Spain, and Portugal as the Azores high builds in. Still a little bit on the unsettled side for Britain and Ireland. Temperatures show that the heat is being pushed further east towards Black Sea and western Russia as we get through towards the end of the week. The cooler air trying to move in from the west, although by the end of the week the heat could be starting to rebuild down across southern parts of France, and you can't see it, but through Spain and Portugal as well. So that's the story of the week ahead. We're going to find the heat gradually being pushed further and further east through the course of the week as cooler air extends in off the Atlantic. It's in the west now. It's going to gradually push eastwards, but it's going to be a slow process. There's going to be a lot of heavy rain and thunder through the middle of the week in central parts to get that cooler air in. But eventually, by the end of the week, many central parts of Europe will be cooler. The heat being pushed right away to the far east and northeast of Europe by the end of the week. That's it for now. Thanks for watching the video. Bye for now.